Alright, skate legends and nostalgia junkies. This is veteran game and we're about to drop into a collection that's been hyped, debated, and side-eyed for months, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4. But before you get that first combo going, slam the like button, subscribe for more fearless reviews, and let me know in the comments what song you wish they hadn't cut. You know, I'll be reading every single one. Let's get one thing out of the way. The Birdman never really left, but this time he's back in style. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 bundles up two of the most iconic skating games of the early 2000s and blasts them into 2025 with stunning visuals, silky smooth performance, and that combo chasing gameplay that can turn 5 minutes into 5 hours in the blink of an eye. The question isn't just, does it hold up? It's, does it justify rebuying your childhood again? On first impression, the answer resounding hell, yes. Everything you loved about THPS 1 and 2's modern remake is here. Crisp, modern graphics that capture the feel of the originals. A stacked roster with returning pros and fresh faces. And levels that look exactly how you remember them in your head, even if they never actually looked that good. From the rusty rails of Alcatraz to the neon chaos of Tokyo, every map just pops off the screen. But let's be real, nostalgia is only half the battle. Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 lives and dies by how it feels. And if you're an old pro, muscle memory kicks in immediately. Those 2-minute timers, the frantic hunt for skate letters, the mad rush for secret tapes, the never-ending quest to break your high score with a single, ridiculous combo. It's all here and just as thrilling as it was 20 years ago. The flow is unreal. One moment you're beefing it on a simple kickflip, the next you're chaining together manuals, reverts, and grinds, getting lost in that zen state only Tony Hawk can deliver. And yet this isn't a carbon copy. There are new levels, movie studio, water park, and the delightfully weird pinball that slot right in with the classics. Water Park in particular is a masterpiece, a playground of empty slides and grimy pools that feels ripped straight from your childhood daydreams. The modded time limits let you experiment or marathon your favorite levels for up to an hour if you're chasing perfection. And yeah, the level creator is back and better than ever. Not only can you build your own skate parks packed with the wildest obstacles and turbo pads, but now you can set your own custom objectives. The possibilities are endless. Player-made levels are already overflowing with challenge maps, brutal gauntlets, and a fair share of torture chambers, where your skater is basically a crash test dummy. Multiplayer? Absolutely. Online and local, with the classic modes you remember, point battles, trick attack, hide and seek with collectibles, or just vibing in free skate and showing off. Throw in the new photo mode and suddenly you're scouting the perfect stair rail to land that magazine-worthy shot. If you grew up trying to be your own virtual Tony Hawk, this is living the dream. But let's not ignore the rough edges. Because honestly, Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is also one of the most controversial remakes of the decade. And it's got nothing to do with the skating itself. First, the timer change. THPS 4 originally ditched the old 2-minute run format for open-ended levels packed with NPCs and quests, which some fans loved. Here, the devs have smashed everything back into the old-school timer style. No more wandering around chatting for goals, just pure, frantic 2-minute sprints. Personally, I love it. That arcade pressure is where Tony Hawk sings. But if you were a fan of the quest-based structure, yeah, you might feel shortchanged. There's a sense of remake meets reimagining and not everyone will be on board. Second, and this is the big one, the soundtrack. Tony Hawk isn't just a game, it's a musical time capsule, and the music is the soul of the series. THPS 1 and 2's remake kept almost every classic track. THPS 3 and 4? Not even close, they lost 80% of the original songs. Some licensing disaster, some new vision, who knows. What you get is a mix. A handful of legendary tracks and a whole bunch of new music that, to be fair, absolutely slaps. But you will notice what's missing. There's no AC/DC, no Offspring, no flogging Molly, no Goldfinger. Huge parts of the Tony Hawk DNA are just gone. And let's talk about product placement. The immersion-shattering billboards, branded obstacles, and in-your-face logos everywhere are impossible to miss. I get that skateboarding culture has always been tied to brands, But there's a point where it stops feeling like an authentic street scene and starts feeling like an ad you can't skip. Maybe I'm just older and grumpier, but it's distracting and a little sad. That said, gameplay is king. When you're in the zone, landing a 20-trick combo and racing the timer, all that noise melts away. Every run is a fresh shot at glory, and the game absolutely nails the heart of what makes Tony Hawk timeless. That addictive, just one more try loop. Replay value off the charts. There are so many challenges, hidden collectibles, unlockable skaters, and let's be honest, the urge to master every level never dies. You'll find yourself saying one more run until you look up and realize you just lost 3 hours to the grind. So what's the final word? Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4 is both a love letter to skateboarding's golden age and a glaring reminder of how messy modern game remakes can get. It's pure arcade fun, easy for newcomers and deep for the diehard, with more content than ever and at that unbeatable just one more try energy. But it also fumbles some fundamentals. The missing music stings, some level changes will rub fans the wrong way, and the product placement is a bummer. But do I recommend it? Absolutely. If you grew up with these games, you'll find yourself grinning like an idiot as you nail combos you thought you'd forgotten. If you're new, it's the most fun you can have with a digital skateboard, no helmet required. Let's hear your stories. What was your go-to song? What's your favorite classic level? Drop it all in the comments, hit subscribe, and stick with Veteran Game for more brutally honest, nostalgia-fueled reviews. This is Tony Hawk, this is skateboarding, and this is why some legends never die. Catch you on the grind.